chickens and talk about baloney if you like. It seemed to be a very popular subject of the last session.
John had a fetish.
You did watch.
He might have been menstruating, craving bull.
So I'll give a kind of a quick little review, especially for Eli, who is a little more new. For Gillisane and Valcoris, if you could, in your chat or in your display name, put your character name, just so I don't have brain farts. I'm not as good at remembering things as some. If you just go to the cog. Yeah.
Display name.
I'll just make it a little easier for me to not be like and the bard, even though that's probably the proper way to address any bard. But anyways, giving a quick kind of review here. You've all been hired by the Dark Star Company in one way, shape, or form or another to basically go and retrieve a former member of said company. You had all gathered and traveled to First Oakhurst as a general sort of meeting point. It's there where many of you congregated together, maybe began to meet each other, and then made your way to what was known as the Sunless Citadel. You were hired by one, I believe is it pronounced Celeb, Darkstar?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Caleb? Alright.
Whichever. I think we're going with Celeb, so...
And a few other discussions have happened. You know that the one of the priests at Palor, a gnome, had kind of made a request, and you probably heard it from one of your companions of looking for one Sir Brad, as well as there is a human woman here known as Sharwin Hukrel, who you are also kind of looking for, trying to discover. You entered the Sunless Citadel and went this sort of Citadel portion, which seemed to be full of...
Is he breaking up for anybody?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems to be full of, and then you broke off there.
A great though that dragon had been slain many years ago and is now the remnant and den monsters such as the ones I had described. You had taken to the first level of this citadel and cleared it, completely wanting to make sure that it was safe. Found a shaft leading down into a farther down level, and have spent the last probably half day for some of you, maybe a full day, helping to establish supply line, moving camp, as well as making sure 100% that things are clear. This is still going on currently, though Gillisane is kind of, or Gilsane, why can't I say this right? Gislane.
No.
Gislane.
No.
Gislane.
Guy Slain.
Guy Slane.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I am dyslexic. I don't know what's going on.
It's okay.
So Guy Slane has a sort of approached,
He is cutting.
finding maybe the other work to be monotony or not finding a role for some of you, and has decided that maybe a scouting party should venture down this shaft and explore the reaches down below.
And at that, I'm going to gather the group that I want. Don Talk and Johnny have come to have a bit of a reputation in the group. So I draw them aside. There's a strange fellow who's off in the corner. I grab him, pull him into the group, and Valchorus, according to others, is one of our most potent magic users. So I grab him as well. I drag them into the main area where we rest for a moment, and I spend the next 10 minutes playing a song and telling a story a bit about Bellic the Outcast and what I know of him, how he's a blighter and how he is corrupted and how he is trying to destroy everything that is good in the world. And everybody gets 6 temporary hit points. Then we tie a rope off and we're going to go in the hole.
A quick question.
So-
What's 6-4 in the green?
Your temporary hit points that I just gave you.
Oh, sweet.
So you're going down the hole, looking down into the shaft. I'll just give you a brief description of kind of what you're getting from it. As you look down to it, it goes down about 10 feet before you see this purple sort of luminescence that is coming off of sort of a fungus that is formed on the inside of the shaft itself. It provides a small bit of dim light at the centralized location, but for those of you with dark vision, you watch as that shaft extends farther below and then again goes dark. And with those again with dark vision, you can see where the shaft ends, but it just continues on into darkness. You can't see the, I'm going to say you can't see the floor from where you are. But currently you know that there's a bit of luminescence coming from the center, darkness, and then more darkness. You can't see the floor. You're not sure how far down it is as well. You're getting, for the Citadel itself, it just smells old and of stone, maybe a little bit musty in a sense, a little bit of moisture that is built up from it being the way it is. Down from the shafts, you're getting these gentle wafts of earthy sort of vegetation, something maybe you weren't expecting.
Okay. I would say we would send Dontok first, down to the bottom, and Agor right behind the two of them to kind of form the defense point at the base of the tunnel here. And
Sure. Now, fill me in because I've missed the end of the last session. Is there a ladder that has been set up, or is there a
Rope.
general rope?
yeah, it's a rope knotted, and also I know for the people who are probably not as keen to climb, it can be allotted that we can lower them down with the help of the other members of the group. So it should be safe passage straight to the hole.
Sure. Just gonna take you back. So, establishing this sort of order, Dontok as Geislane has kind of addressed you to send you down first. Give me some sort of interaction here. I want to see your discussion and plan as to get down to the bottom. How are you proceeding, etc.,
Don't talk
etc.
first.
Okay,
Don't
Dontok.
go very slow.
Yeah, I basically just stop playing. I look at the turtle and I point at the rope and I say, lead the way.
Don't talk go. Thanks for music.
Give him a thumbs up. You're great.
Make Don't talk
Absolutely.
go good.
Okay. And then shortly after he descends, I assume Agor would continue right after him, so that they both
Okay.
arrive about the same time.
So, Dontok, as you are somewhat beginning to descend, as well as followed by Agor, these two individuals begin their descent down. You can see now as you're going down about what is around halfway down the shaft, this purple fungus. And you can actually now see these individual mushroom stalks that come off with these small little caps. As you're looking down, does Dontok have dark vision?
Is not. He's got a torch lit.
Oh, so you've got a torch lit. Okay. Right about this point, as you're maybe kind of holding it in your mouth, I'm assuming, in some way,
half
shape, or
shell.
form. You what? Sorry.
In my half shell.
Your half shell. Oh, okay. As it's kind of sticking out, you look down, and just as you're crossing this threshold of where this fungus is, still in the shaft leading down, you are able to see what must be at the 60 sort of foot mark, the bottom of this chamber. You can see that it opens up and is still, the walls appear to be out of your vision at this point. But you see what looks to be a sort of mossy, soft-looking ground below you with a mix of dirt and other vegetation. Give me a perception check since you are the first to descend. You're not 100% sure of what you're hearing, but it sounds like you would almost say like some sort of cart or something is being pushed. Just this squeak is going on over and over again, and then comes to a stop. And then you hear like what sounds like someone. There's no better way to put it, but gardening.
So the grounds area that will be the grounds area of the landing looks somewhat pleasant to a native.
I wouldn't say pleasant. Like you're not worried about dropping the earthy marshiness of it. You probably experienced a little bit of vegetation before. This doesn't look like healthy vegetation. It's very dark, these gray stalks, and even the few mushrooms you see seem to have a sort of a wilt or something wrong to them. Even from this distance, you can see that. And even the other vegetation that is growing here, you see these brown spots where you can tell bits of the plant are just dying, and it's fairly consistent through the length of the leaves of these plants. But you're not worried about dropping down into here or stepping on any of it. It doesn't give you a sense of danger.
Okay. Drop down.
Okay, as you
Climb.
continue your descent, looking down, followed by Agor, you can see now the source of what you are looking at. Looking out now, just as you leave this sort of threshold of this shaft, you see what look to be two robed figures. One is currently just put down this, what you now see to be a wheelbarrow, and another one along the other side of the room, currently just like with a shovel, seeming to dig, like in a sense, a garden, kind of building up a mound in which things could be planted.
Well, I'll stop
With
there.
using your previous perception check, you get a glance as one as it kind of begins to turn to the side, and you don't see a nose coming from his face. What you do see is a bone white facial structure of the skull of this creature.
You skipped out on the first part of the description.
Sorry, as this creature turns and you get a small view of the side of its face from its hood, you can see that its nose is gone, and you see the bone-right structure of what is a skull face. And taking a look now, you can actually see the hands themselves are made of bones.
As they're descending down, or since they're already descended down, I'd look to, probably about halfway through their descent actually, to either Johnny or Valcoris and kind of gesture towards them.
Yeah.
So we're forming a good line instead of weird pacing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm treating you, Dontok. This is what you've seen just as you've crossed the threshold. You're still about 10 feet off the ground. Do you continue to your descent?
No, I'll hold there and motion up to who's on the ag.
You have Agor directly up above you.
Does he notice? Agor, does he notice?
Agor hasn't descended far enough. His head is still kind of above the threshold. I'd say actually, as you're coming down now, Agar, with Dontok kind of pulling you, your feet are just about where his hands are, and you are able to kind of see the same things that he is seeing as he points them out.
Okay. Would I notice that Dontok has stopped?
Absolutely. You have dark vision, so you look down
I don't.
and there's. Oh, you don't? Oh,
No.
never mind. The rope is gone very still.
Okay. I'd immediately shove a small piece of copper wire into my mouth and speak to him through magical means and say to Dontok, clear the line, move down the line, get to the ground.
Dontok will look up and nod and continue down as quietly.
I cast a message to do that, by the way. Oh,
Sure.
and you can reply to this message.
So, you continue your descent until you reach the ground then?
Yeah, I mean, if I can reply and Dontok would know that I can reply, I would advise the situation as well. If we continue.
Don't.
Sure.
I'd cast it again and say, don't assault. Wait until we're all down unless they attack you. Then defend yourselves.
Okay. Agor, it's kind of passed on to you as Dontok starts his descent. Do you continue to descend? You're about at the 20-foot mark up. So I need to know if you continue your descent as Agor is begun his descent down and is about to touch the ground.
Yeah, Andy, real quick interjection.
Sure.
Yeah, you'd be about halfway down since Jason didn't cut in. I'd have sent you down if you were available and ready to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you wanted to go first, but if you want
Oh,
me
I
to go
don't.
first,
No.
I'd be
no.
happy to do that. Yeah, so I'll go.
Sure. So I got Dontok on the ground. Agor is directly behind him. Johnny, you're about halfway, so you're probably closer to the 30-foot mark. Oh, I need Johnny. Do not have Johnny. 1 second. And Ghislaine is still at the top, as well as
Of course.
Falcoris.
I'd want to try to position
as
myself
you-
behind Dontok if I could. When I get to the ground.
Right before you land, Dontok, one thing you do notice out of this vegetation is there's 2 trees that seem to be standing, or not standing, embedded into the ground. Their forms are a twisted, unnaturally bent trees, leafless in their shape. And as you begin your descent, unbeknownst to you, and as your feet touch the ground, I'm going to continue with your previous stealth check. You watch as all of a sudden these eyes, face begin to form within them, and one just lifts up a leg, breaking from its roots in the ground, and takes a step towards you. I need everyone to roll me some initiative as a result of these.
So just people who are down on the ground?
This is going to be everyone, because I'm assuming there's going to be...
There's going to be a key issue when we do this, though,
Okay.
because you have
To
us on
be-
2 separate maps. You're not going
Yeah,
to be
I'm
able
gonna-
to have...
All
initiative
right,
on
1
both.
second. I'll have to pull you over. 1 second. A garbage can. Remember your number. Please.
Okay. And we're not seeing anything on the map. There we go.
You're down left side.
Yeah, I got
Yes, we're good.
And you can hold shift as the GM and press and then click like ping, and it'll center everyone to that location.
Oh, I learn something new every day. Why is this not going away? Give me 1 second, my computer is being.
Whoa! Epic.
Chef, you would still have a
What's going on?
reply to my last message.
Yeah, I would keep you updated.
Well, speaking's a free action, so if something's attacking you, just let me know.
Ouch!
Yeah. The trees are alive.
Why not dropping? This is really. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna
And they look mean.
kill.
That's the message he returns to you.
Perfect.
Sorry, guys, my computer is being an absolute dumpster pile today.
No worries.
All right, so some of you are at the top. Dontok, you have just stepped down. Agor, you're currently climbing up. So you guys are all kind of overlapped here because you are on the rope. And we'll just say it's kind of set in the center. Who am I missing initiative from? Is it Johnny?
I have mine. It's the first. It's and actually it's not the first. 19.7.
Yeah, the issue is I think he's on the old, and so it got deleted. So you need to
Gotcha.
have token.
Yeah, I deleted yours, so I'll get you to put in
If
19.
I could do it myself, sure.
Yeah. I got your thing
No
there.
worries.
And with skeletons.
And then set to descending.
Oh, I know. There we go. So, as we get into it, as you have begun to set your foot on the ground, you watch the shift of this wood-ish creature begin to manifest and step towards you. The same snapping sound coming from behind you, even closer. You turn and look as these creatures begin to kind of cry out in this unearthly sound of almost like bark scraping against wood, loud and very awful to the ears. The skeletons as well, upon hearing these cries, turn towards you as well, your shovels lifted into the air, and begin their charge towards you, Don. So, I will now play some. And let me know how the music levels are.
Oh, you're playing? Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So, as the skeleton is approaching you, Don Talk, shovel lifted into the air, it is going to come and swing at you with it. $17 versus your AC. It comes at you, not more of an ambling, and as it raises its shovel, it actually swings fairly deftly. But you being a turtle and a cleric, it strikes out against you and just sort of hits into the back of your shell, It looks confused for a moment, but is undaunted as it's pulling back and getting ready for its second strike. The other one, also charging up kind of side of you, is also going to take a swing against you. I need to drop my volume a bit. 16 versus AC as it comes up against you and does it. This one swings as well. This one also hits into your shell. You can tell that it hits fairly deftly, leaving probably a jagged mark on your shell, but nothing that would be uncommon for a turtle such as yourself. And it's also, again, rearing back to strike you. Falcoris, you standing on the edge, you have now heard the sound of something striking something very hard, and maybe begin hearing the calls of the other individuals from below, determining you that there is some sort of trouble.
You hear
Okay.
Talk chuckle.
Yeah, actually looking down now, you